Rejoice, everyone. We're back with another Sekhie Reacts to Fate.
Alas, alas, Halloween has passed. Guess what? The last vanguard before Christmas is gone!
There's still Thanksgiving for us Americans.
Thanksgiving absolutely does not hold Christmas back.
Does as far as family celebrations go.
But not as far as what's in the stores. The only vanguard holding Christmas back from encroaching into the summer is the Halloween goths, and we owe them for it.
Although I hate to say it right now, you can tell, if you eagle-eyed viewers can tell on screen, we're also right now in the middle of October. We only just started October.
I mean, I forget that my fucking time and date are at the bottom of the screen.
So, you guys have made it past Halloween. We still have yet to survive that. So, we'll see you in a couple months when you see our whatever we're doing in December.
Yeah. This is November. NaNoWriMo, bitches.
Yeah.
I know, I'm going to sneak in a hint about our November. I'm sure I snuck in a hint about November somewhere being NaNoWriMo and that being like...
I'm going to be honest here. If they can tell our theming, they can pretty much, like right now, based off of what we're doing now, guess what's next. It is not a hard guess to shoot in the dark.
You never know.
Yeah, we could be doing Neil Armstrong next.
That's true. Astronaut of the USA.
He probably wrote a book, maybe.
I'm sure there's a memoir or an autobiography somewhere. But with that being said, today we are doing Lady Murasaki. Lady Shikibu Murasaki. For this video, I personally put myself into the depths of hell by reading this, which was a pleasant companion. This is the Diary of Lady Murasaki.
Turn the book so they can see the amount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was adorable. This was a wonderful reprieve.
Now show them the other book.
This is roughly 1,200 pages.
54 volumes of text.
And this is not like large text. This is small text.
I guess real quickly, welcome to Off the Shelf. Sekhie, what did you think of The Tale of Genji?
You know, I actually thought it was a really good novel. So, looking it up, right, you find out, so Tale of Genji is one of the oldest novels in the world, especially in Japan. And it's one of the first psychological novels, right, where the main point of the Tale of Genji is the emotional, spiritual, and, like, psychological journey that our main character Genji goes through. I think that perhaps she could have been less verbose. But, you know, I guess editors didn't exist in the Heian period.
It's also important to remember one Japanese character goes a lot longer than one English word.
Yeah. I mean, you know, like I said, maybe...
It's pretty common for Japanese text to end up more verbose when translated to English.
Yeah, and okay, I will say that from my research, I know that Lady Murasaki would have had access to stories like the Tales of Ise and the Tale of the Bamboo Cutter and stuff like that. And I know at least Ise is pretty decently long in the unabridged. And I will admit, so this is the unabridged so I specifically looked up to find the unabridged translation because I had seen a bunch of abridged translations which were like 200 pages, and I was like, oh, so it's probably like 400 or 500 total. I could blaze through that. It was not 400 or 500 pages total. That was a mistake on my part. I thought that Amazon had it wrong when they said that it was like 1,200 pages. Like, I thought somebody had typed in the wrong number. So that was my bad. But yeah, no, I think it was actually a good read, although I think it could have done with some editing. But at the same time, knowing that it did come out in 54 different volumes, right, of publication, basically.
Imagine smashing a bunch of your favorite light novel series together into one book.
I was gonna say, I have 70 volumes of One Piece. I have no room to judge. Literally no room to complain about this being too long. I think this is in fact shorter than One Piece.
There's not a lot of things that are longer than One Piece.
Yeah, but that's what I read, and that was completely unnecessary. I didn't need to read it for this Reacts video.
No, you absolutely not.
I chose to do this of my own free will. I was not coerced. I would recommend to any enterprising young person in the audience or old person who wants to do this, get the diary. It helps. It's like 90 pages, and it really fucking helps.
It's actually funny that you brought up that thing could be edited, because it was really hard to find an unedited.
No, there were so many abridged versions. I had to resort to like going to a list of all publication versions, searching out the abridged versus unabridged ones, and then researching which ones were academically used as opposed to literarily used, because there are some unabridged which are a lot less like word-to-word accurate and more kind of flowering. And I understand the desire of certain translators absolutely to try to make a poetical or a literary source written in a specific way resemble that way still in our own language. Tolkien does it with Beowulf, which is why I keep both Tolkien's Beowulf for the literary element of reading it, and then Seamus Connery's for the actual like translation of Beowulf. And so I get it. But I did get the academic version, and it is a mammoth of a task to read. It is good. It is fascinating. But it's a little bit like sitting down to read Game of Thrones. Not gonna lie. There's a lot of people to keep track of, there's a lot of places to keep track of, and there's a lot of politics to keep track of. Nick Nack would approve.
Yes.
So I guess I should get what I need to get out of the way about Lady Murasaki. So, Murasaki Shikibu, or also known as Lady Murasaki, so that's technically a descriptive name only. It most likely refers to her father's role at court during the Heian period during this time, and Wisteria, which is a reference to what was potentially her surname, Fujiwara. And some historians think that her name may have been Fujiwara no Kaoriko, but there's a couple of other names, so we don't actually know what her personal name would have been, like her true name. Obviously she wrote the Tale of Genji. She's very, very famous for that. She lived from about 973 to either 1014 or 1025 AD, which was actually really interesting, seeing that there was like such a large gap in like, could have died in 1014, but also could have died 11 years later in 1025, you know, because we just don't know enough about her, you know what I mean? So, we do know very little about her. We know that despite Heian restrictions on women, especially learning Chinese, she did acquire fluency somehow. And she was, in particular, very famous for still using Chinese characters to write much of her works when a lot of other people had begun transitioning to kana, which was what they called like an earlier version of like a simplified Japanese script. So she was married and widowed. She had a daughter. Her daughter actually went on to become a poet.
Nice.
I think also her daughter was the nursemaid of the next empress. Yeah.
I mean, it all comes back together for the Japanese imperial line.
Yeah, so she served under Empress Shoshi, which was actually pretty interesting because during the time and period when she served at court, there were two very powerful, prominent families, each one kind of supporting a different empress, and due to the influence of the one supporting the empress that she served, that woman was actually raised to title of empress, even though there was already an existing empress at the time, and so there are two empresses. What?
Oh, you tapped a button.
I tapped the space bar. I think it's fine. Yeah.
No,
it would have popped up the.
I know.
Yeah.
I killed your train of thought.
Oh yeah, so the family that basically kind of like funded her invite to court, that kind of thing, they managed to get this other woman named Empress. Her name, then this was Empress Shoshi, and she was younger, and she kind of had power from this, but at the same time, she was not like the original Empress of the period. That's Empress T.H.E. And then eventually, she and Empress Shoshi retreated to Lake Biwa, where she would continue to write. And then that's really kind of all we know about her. Like, if you get down to brass tacks, and even some of that is, like, debated as to, like, what went where and that sort of thing. She did do a number of things that weren't expected of women from her time, like learning Chinese. She went on a couple of longer journeys with her father, which was unexpected for women of the time. But, yeah. Apparently, part of the reason why she was invited to court was because of her writing. Like, she'd already attained such fame and renown from it.
Well, she was a poet before The Tale of Genji, right?
Exactly. So she was kind of viewed as like a feather in the cap of Empress Shoshi's inner court, against her rival. Yeah.
All right, then.
Well, yeah, I feel bad because I don't have, like, a ton to say today compared to, like...
You hit it pretty well.
Yeah, I feel like she's such a fascinating person, and we just know so little about her. Like, she's mentioned in, like, a court diary in the year 1007 under the name Fujiwara no Kaoriko. Like, they think that this is Lady Murasaki, mentioned as a lady-in-waiting to Empress Shaoxi, but even Himiko kind of had more sources describing her actual
life,
like her actual self, as opposed to this, where we have her writings and we know about her rivalry, and that's really kind of it.
Well, I guess then why don't we push this out with another thing I was thinking about trying here. What do you think we're going to get out of this? Like, what class do you think we're getting out of this survey? Based off your experience. Now, you've seen a few. More than a few.
Who was, what class was Shakespeare?
Castor.
I think personally that because of the writing, right, my brain goes Castor, right? Because I think about Shakespeare and some of the other writers we've seen. But I think that, from what I've read, I mean, she was pretty famous for also breaking the mold, not doing what was expected necessarily of women, like learning Chinese, going on journeys with her father, etc., etc. So, like, I think she could be a fighter class. She could be like a lancer or something. I do love me a good lancer. I'm sorry, that's my go-to fighter class. I do love me a good lancer.
All right, then. Well, oh yeah, we had the Tale of Genji opened here.
Yeah, I did open the Tale of Genji because, I mean, the Tale of Genji is interesting. It's really just kind of like a story based on what she saw in court and like her own experiences, and then based on the fact that she was reading books like the Tales of Ise and stuff like that. And a lot of the book details aristocratic customs, right? And just it's almost like Sir Walter Scott's writings in that there's a lot of detail about stuff that you don't necessarily need for the story, but it does kind of all add up together, like in the end, to form like this complete picture of the era that this is happening in and that sort of thing. Honestly, it's one of the better info dumps I've read as a book, to be fair, because I have not been able to get through the majority of Sir Walter Scott's works, and he writes in a very similar way, but I was able to get through Tale of Genji.
All right, well, ready to see Murasaki Shikibu?
Oh, no. Oh.
So this is her first form. She actually has a few different... She's a caster, by the way. Let me give you the full art here.
So I was right with my first guess, caster. Kitty ears!
And then...
Oh, I like that a lot.
This is her more.
Yeah.
So yeah, let me show you these. Let me click out of this now. I don't need to use this.
Yeah. Well, hang on. Go back to that. Go back to that.
These.
Yeah. So for these first two, we have this. This is really interesting because, like, especially in the first one, it's almost I want to say like
Gothic.
Yeah, it's definitely like what you think of when you think of like sexy vampire chic, like that kind of like Victorian Edwardian Gothic, like inaccurate but like containing elements of fashion. And then they put a Haori on her in the second piece of artwork with the bands tying it, and she's got the little cat ear stuff, which is, it looks really cool. It looks like a nice mix of like kind of Eastern and Western fantastical fashion.
You just go full Eastern in the third.
I fucking love this. Like, okay, this is, I loved Wu Zetian, but this is what I wanted out of Wu Zetian. I'm gonna be real honest. This is what I wanted to see when we clicked into Wu Zetian. Like, you can tell that she is an imperial court lady. And do you know how I can tell just by looking at her?
How?
The colors, the layers, the patterns. She's wearing at least 6 or 7 layers of clothing.
Be wrong, but let me take a look here.
And that was a big thing in, like, imperial fashion. Like, the higher up you were in court, the more layers you could wear, and each layer would be a different color, a different print, and you could see them, like, stacked under one another at, like, the neck and the sleeves.
I was right. So, I promise you, this is a very, like, some of the more controversial Fate designs come out of this artist as well, especially when it comes to the women.
Okay.
But this was the same artist that did Moriarty.
Oh,
so I don't know if you remember, can sort of see some of the stylized.
Especially in the last 2.
Yeah.
Especially in the last 2. It does. It looks very... Oh my god. And put her side by side, Moriarty. They would be the most stunning couple. They would be.
So, real quickly.
Oh, she's so cute. Oh, I love it.
And then we have the sprites here.
Oh, yeah. Adorable. Precious. Absolutely stunning. Like, that is opulence to the extreme. Like, the layers. Oh, it's so beautiful. I also would like you to compliment me on the fact that I did not mention her titties in the first 2.
No, you did not.
This is an example of tasteful anime physics. It's too bad her sprite doesn't. The game isn't sophisticated enough for her sprite to have jiggle physics.
Actually, it might actually have those in the animations. I'd have to take a look at her animations, but that's not... FGO's not against those.
Hell yeah!
Especially not when it comes to this artist.
So I assume she's just the one class. It's just caster?
This one, yes. We do have another form. She does have a
okay.
summer form we'll look at later.
Okay. Oh, hey, Lost Belt 5.5. Hey, Kyo.
Yes, I haven't played that one. That one's yet to come out at the time of us recording this.
Valentine event, Murasaki Shikibu and the 7 cursed books.
She was actually introduced as a Valentine's servant.
Oh, that's adorable!
It was like a Valentine's event, but there was nothing Valentine's about it. Just to be clear here.
Yeah. No, I like this. I really like this outfit so far. I just think I'm not exactly sure where the inspiration to make her like vaguely Western fashion inspired came from, but
so I might be able to explain that actually.
Okay.
So there obviously is the 2 distinct classes here, and obviously that last one's closer to what she probably could have worn during her time.
Yeah.
So in FGO, it's quite well established that not only does she maintain a full library once she's summoned, it contains both older and modern books, and she reads
and from all over the world.
So she's adopting this is her adopting another style in her design, not dressing as she would have then.
Okay. So it's just her moving with the times.
Yeah, and we'll see more of that later, actually.
Like 10 out of 10. I love it. Also, I want one of those umbrellas so bad, the ones with that like particular slope and the pokey bit at the end. Mostly because I just want to whack people with them. I've got one in my Amazon cart I need to get before the rainy season starts because I don't have an umbrella.
So we'll do some scrolling down here.
I'm excited to see her card arts later.
And then
Hans
FGO
Christian Andersen!
We'll get to him eventually. So these are her abilities.
Yeah,
here.
so she's got territory creation and item construction. Most casters have those.
She's got Verse of the Great Poet. So here's how she works combat-wise. She's an Omnyoji.
Okay.
I don't know if this comes out before or after our Nura videos, but it's similar in concept.
Oh no, this comes out before our Nura videos.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Oh, we don't really keep a lid and a secret on what comes there.
No. We've recently done Nura, Rise of the Yokai Clan, and so we've got Onmyoji there. Also, I wonder... That is a pretty interesting way to take her. I know that some of her poems are included, and also Verse of the Great Poet. I know that some of her poems are included in collections of like the 37 Immortal Poets and like the poetry masters of so-and-so era. Like, she's famous for not just her novel. Like, her poetry is also stunning.
And they do actually cover some of that here.
Yeah. her diary has like some assorted poetry in it that she would write. You know, like she's got this one. Chrysanthemum dew, I brush my sleeve to gain little youth, but she who owns the flower have the 1,000 years they bring. You know? Like, that's beautiful.
So I think her onmyoji, the way she does onmyoji, she also modifies it with her words or her poetry.
Mm-hmm.
But she apparently learned it from another Japanese onmyoji from the same era named Abe no Seme.
Oh! Is that another servant in fate?
He is clarified to be a servant. We don't have an FGO design for him quite yet.
Okay, because that name is very familiar to me. And I have to wonder if maybe it's because I know it from something else.
You probably know it from something else.
Okay.
He's big in Japan, I believe.
Okay.
So, let's see here. At one point, using her sort of... Because her poetry has the slight ability to sort of modify reality slightly.
Mm-hmm. I could see that. That would be awesome.
It's basically a form of magecraft here. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I did this research a long time ago. I should have prepared more.
Speaking in modern terms, she was the kind of author who actually studies magecraft to write a novel with magecraft in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know who that reminds me of, who I am being inundated with research about?
Who?
Tolkien.
Yeah.
I admire any... Like, I admire authors in general because writing long form is not something I am capable of doing, right? Like, I just don't have the attention span to be able to write long form. But I also, like, to a greater extent even, I really admire authors who are willing to go out of their way to study something so that they can incorporate it in an accurate way or make deliberate changes to it for something that they're writing. Because I feel like it kind of shows like a level of dedication you have towards what you want to include or talk about.
It brings it to be even more of an art. Like, it really works with the art form there.
Yeah, because like... even if you don't, you can still write amazing things. But it's like that cherry on top of the fucking sundae. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I have a hard time really talking about what she can specifically do, because it's basically all in the poetry and all in the sort of affecting her magecraft with her onmyoji. Yes, we will get to her NP in a minute. Or actually, that's a skill. Oh!
That's a skill!
So this is a skill. I believe this is actually considered... Yeah, it's considered a noble phantasm.
Okay.
So we'll talk about that in a minute a little bit more.
I have Murasaki's noble phantasm.
I guess that's as good a time as any to move into the NPs here.
So she's got more than one?
She's actually got 3.
Oh, so are we going to talk about Diary first, since it's there, kind of?
Yeah, does she not have an NP? Oh, she does. All 3 are listed, or 2 of them are listed here, up here.
Okay. So this is Diary of Lady Murasaki.
Yeah.
Acts as a repertoire of knowledge for casters. So it's like her spell book, right? Like her grimoire. From the Heian period, the knowledge is collected. It's said that it directly affects...
It's not quite like a grimoire. It's actually more like she's continuing the diary from where she left off. So
a grimoire is a diary that includes spells and magic, but
Yes.
it's also just a diary.
Yeah.
So it is a grimoire.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like as if she's continuing it from on.
But the same way when you're writing a diary, you're fudging little facts here, maybe making yourself look a little better. She's doing that to minimize damage.
I can
so,
see
like,
that.
if you have like a cut or something, it won't get infected or something.
Yeah,
like that.
it says by revising and falsifying the past in the diary, it's possible to cancel damage and injury.
Yep.
Hell, that's really cool, actually. Like, who would have thought? She has the skill Retcon.
Retcon.
Oh, you know who else has that skill? George Lucas.
George Lucas Noble Phantasm Special Editions.
Yeah.
He can't subtract, he can only add.
Yeah.
Or replace. Alright, and then she has 2 other NPCs here, both based off the Tale of Genji.
Okay.
I'm not going to click into these ones because they're 2 different things, but the first one is Aoi Mononoke.
Mm-hmm.
This one is a Japanese poem contained in Aoi, chapter 9 of the Tale of Genji.
Give me 2 seconds.
Actually, it might have the poem listed in here, so I will open this.
Oh, isn't that it? The if there is a limit?
Possibly. That...
You know, sometimes I just forget how much fucking poetry she includes in each fucking chapter of this book. Every single time that there's a little cutaway to like italics,
It's a poem.
It's a poem. It's a little poem. She does these like two-line, like little like two-line things that are actually really interesting because they relate to like what's happening in the chapter.
So this particular poem is actually... So what she's doing with this poem is she's mourning the fate of her enemy, which is in turn causing damage to the enemy.
Yeah. Because, retcon, like, if there is a limit, then please let this pale black robe, shallow though it is, tie my sleeves that... 'Tis my sleeves that tears shall drench, creating my own abyss. Nice.
And then we have the other one here. Kiritsubo parting.
Ah, see, that one I found a second ago.
Yeah.
But now our paths forever part. When in my sorrow, I would certainly have wished to follow the path of life.
This is more of a support for her own allies.
That's actually really sad. That's poignant. That's like in 2 lines. Literally, we're parting forever. Although I would have wished to follow the path of life. God damn. God damn.
So I guess let's go right into showing off the NP here. Just show off the animations as well.
Yes, Fanblade. That's pretty cool. Like ink blasts from writing. Oh,
限りあれば薄墨衣朝けれど涙ぞ袖を淵となしける源氏物語青いもののけ
Okay, well, first of all, I love every single one of the skill animations. They are adorable. I especially like the scroll whip. I did not like being called out by the falling tower of books. Have had that actually happen in recent memory. You saw it.
Yep.
And it is very painful, and I do it to myself, and I hate it. I really like how they do the NP with it, like, fading to the kind of the traditional art with her writing over it.
It's a very beautiful NP.
Yeah. It's maybe one of the prettiest that we've seen so far. Maybe only topped by... Was it Abby whose one went through, like, multiple worlds?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was also really pretty as an NP.
Alright, so...
I do like how they have the recite the whole poem out and stuff. It's really pretty.
Did I close out the Type Moon Wiki? Yes, I did. We can do this 2 ways. I can either go back to the Type Moon Wiki or I can go off my notes. Hi, Knick-Knack here.
Oh, look! A yaoi manga I'm reading.
Oh, look, Caucasian Happy.
What the... Fam, what the fuck?
Alright, you can turn back now.
Jesus.
We're back on the wiki.
Okay.
Look, Caucasian Happy.
What do you mean Caucasian Happy? That's Happy.
No, next to Happy there. The other cat thing.
That's Charla! Where's the rubber band gun?
On the other side of the room.
Oh!
Unfortunately, you do not have that real-life prop guy bowl yet. There are worse ways to go. All right, you ready?
So do just keep
For
sword.
Summer Murasaki Shikibu.
Oh, there's a Is this the first summer we've had since? Oh, wait, we had one with Abby,
Yeah.
but it was a while before that
Yeah.
since we had a summer.
Yep.
Oh, ooh, big booby. 10 out of
Big
10.
booby.
You know what? I adore her hair. Also, is she holding like a brush? Like what? Oh, it's one of those like twisting glass ink pen things that you like. Oh, that's actually really cute. I like the. You know what I like about this? The school uniform is not 2 inches long. I actually like that it goes all the way down.
Very colorful.
Yeah, the threads of color are really 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
We're gonna click over here just to show the sprites, and I could have done it from both sides, but we also have
10 out of 10. Oh my god, I love her. I love her so much. She is so cute. I adore this. And it is one of those twisting ink. Yeah, I've always
I'll
wanted
just
to
leave it
get
on
one
the
of those
screen
twisting
for a
ink
bit.
pens.
I guess I
It's
should
so
go back to the
cute. So is this still Caster?
This is Writer now.
Oh, I don't apparently I can't read. Oh, hey, reference! A mysterious widow in a dark colored swimsuit.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a reference to the
Yeah, to the fact that she was widowed.
Yeah.
Yeah. A suspicious sailor girl uniform. A woman in a Showa idol-style swimsuit. In other words, this is cosplay!
Yep.
That is dead-ass what it says. So she's cosplaying a student.
So, let me go ahead and establish what's going on with this Murasaki, because we actually have a fair bit. This Murasaki Shikibu, this is after a little while in Chaldea. She's read all of the modern books and has moved on to modern film, taking particular fascination with a few different genres, but really, really important to when this one was introduced, horror. Thus the Woman in Black.
You know what? That
Black
makes
Widow.
sense. Yeah. And the school uniform. Lots of school uniforms in Japanese
Yeah.
horror movies.
So she's
That explains the more modern, the twist drip pens. Yeah.
she's just been on a binge of modern horror films,
Oh boy, don't I know that. Not horror, but I do also binge.
and she's quite the expert on their tropes, including the shit sequel.
Glorious. I'm not a horror movie fan myself, but glorious.
And while what she's doing is definitely cosplay, she will not admit that.
10 out of 10. I love it. I love it.
Can relate.
This is hot mommy. And oh my god, yeah, hot mommy. Lady Murasaki is hot mommy.
So her skills in particular are her three different outfits, basically. I don't know much in the way of lore and what these individually do, but
Oh,
they're...
that's so cool. The Summer Night. Sorry, I think I was reading ahead of where
No,
you were.
go
but
ahead.
The Summer Night Black Widow is a reference to the detective novels.
Yep.
Yeah, the Black Widow, because it's always the ex-wife or the wife, the widow. It's always. That's actually really fucking cool. I love that. Is it Bizarre Hobby? I see. This is a modern outfit of summer. And literary maiden. That's pretty cool. Yeah. I'd become interested in Japanese Showa idols.
Yep.
Yeah.
So basically, she finished up all the books and moved on to everything else.
You know what? I can't even blame her. I do the exact same thing. You've seen me do that exact same thing. Just go from reading it to watching it.
All right. So her NP is called the
Sotori
Hime, Spider's Demeanor. This particular one is her using a famous poem by another Japanese author, or Japanese poet.
Oh, Tsuchigumo.
Yep.
So we just watched Nura, as we mentioned just a little while ago.
Yeah.
Also, there's the Onmyodo teacher, Abe no Seimei.
So here's the thing, that spider, so she has a spider in her NP. It is not, like, although she's using it as a reference to the Tsuchigumo in her NP, it's not really pulled from there. Like, it's not her using the Tsuchigumo For power? No, this is another spider monster altogether that was sealed away by her mentor.
So,
Although
like, the
Sandman.
great part about this is Knick-Knack is definitely trying to justify this because he's about to show me an on-screen spider and I have arachnophobia.
Yes! 100%.
Like, really bad arachnophobia? I don't like spiders.
It's not that bad.
そして事件は始まるのでし
I love Mommy Shikibu.
ょうこのようなものです
Sorry. Mommy, sorry. Ooh, seafood.
よいしょ
That's the Honolulu beach.
Yeah. Maybe not quite as thematic in her actions in this version.
No, but it's summer.
But it's summer, and it's, you know, hot Mommy Shikibu. Oh, look, there we go. Writing poetry again.
我が瀬戸が不暦よいなりささがねの雲の幼い今宵印も外折りし雲の奥
Oh, I didn't like that noise. I'm torn! It's like soot sprites with legs, and soot sprites are cute, but it very clearly had too many legs to be a soot sprite, and it did not like the noise it made. I did not like the noise the spider made when eating. No, my friend.
No.
No.
Alright, so CEs then.
Yeah! I'm excited for CEs. I think they're going to be really pretty. Especially if she was introduced as a Japanese Valentine's servant.
So, the Saint graph
yep.
here. These are random other things.
Oh, yes, there is art of her with...
Her and Moriarty.
Open it! Oh! It says it's called Couple Portrait.
Yep.
I was right. They go really well together aesthetically.
I believe this was from a non-canon event.
They've even got some, like, matching color elements in their outfit. I love this. This is great.
That's a wallpaper.
That is what I would put on my phone background. Oh, look at that anniversary one.
Let's go through these because there's actually quite a good bit of fun art here.
Yeah, because this isn't even CEs. This is just separate art.
This is a command code.
Okay.
Ow.
Oh, that's pretty with her writing on the scroll. And the scroll kind of laid out like that. 10 out of 10.
Actually, I think this is from a
I'm
tie-in
sorry.
because...
Mommy, I'm sorry. Mommy.
You know what? I know exactly what this is. The event she was introduced in, there was a Japanese glasses tie-in, so basically all of the summer servants at that event had glasses. And
I approve.
She was... This is artwork with her having glasses.
I approve. This is great. I haven't been this horny for a servant since Romulus. Oh, I really like that. Especially because there's tartan! There's plaid! Knick-Knack! It's plaid! Also, was that image interposed over, like, just a... That's just a photo.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, that's just an animated
At least,
drawing interposed
at least drawn over
an
a photo.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, I love it. But, you know. Cute.
So the reason why she has so many art like this is because Raita is one of the bigger FGO artists in terms of how much he does.
Ah.
So he got an entire art book, I believe.
Okay. 10 out of 10. Wholeheartedly approve. This is glorious. Craft essences?
I want to pop through all of these. You never know.
Oh.
Like there's her NP close-up.
Yeah.
Got her sprites here.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Not all that many, actually.
Yeah, but they all look nice. Let's open them up. Yes.
Okay.
There we go. Alright.
So this is her Bond CE.
Shin Genji Monogatari Emaki. Okay. So this is like, that's like a painting of like a scene from the Tale of Genji. Why, hello there, master. You want to know about this painting? Well, it came to me that I should try putting pictures in my Tale of Genji to make it into a picture scroll. Pretty, you say? Thank you. I'm drawing chapter 9. Aoi. Interesting. Really cool. Interesting. I like how she just admits to plagiarism. It's like, this is actually based off of... Oh, shit! I know that piece of art!
You know the one that it's based off of?
Yes! From class! 10 out of 10.
This is her
Picture scroll.
Valentine's.
Yeah, chocolate. Scenes from the Tale of Genji depicting men and women of the Heian period. There's a gimmick in it. Let's just say, try a bite. Hot.
This was actually before she got her summer version, so...
The thirst is real.
And this is one of the anniversary seasons.
So that's the one we saw earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it was
It's a little
travel
closer
one.
up, though. It's like, the other one's the full-sized version of that ran
I
true.
know. I love this. This might be one of my favorite CEs so far. I think this is awesome. What's the translation for it? Oh. This place looks like the beginning of a story to me. Under the same sky in this our world. Aw. This is really nice. I like that a lot.
So this is a lot of servants in it. You probably don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think that's Murasaki
Yeah.
there. Do I recognize any of the other ones there? If you want to close your eyes, I could check.
We don't need to.
Well, if you want to look at the lore. I'm curious who's... Yeah, no, you haven't seen any of those people besides Murasaki. Okay. Lore's good, though.
Okay.
Alright, and then the last CE here.
It's another Valentine's.
Yep.
That's this year's Valentine's. Thank you for your hard work. It's glasses again! Yes. Yes.
I think this is a rolled one, so this is not one of the ones she gives you. It's just it's an art. It's just a one you have to roll for in the gotcha.
Nice.
All right, so
10
yeah,
out of 10.
that's the regular one. Let's move to Ryder now.
She's so cute.
I don't know how many Ryder has. Ryder's relatively newer.
Yeah. She's so cute.
Let's.
I love her so much.
Well, speed through. There's your spider. And yeah, there's only
Oh,
two.
there's two.
Recommended
Please.
books for Called Dancer, the Bond scene.
Please, Lady Murasaki, recommend me books. I want to know what Lady Murasaki's summer recommended reading list is. Oh, more sci-fi leaning? Oh, all sci-fi leaning. Huh. I wonder if she's read Isaac Asimov. This is a fictional character. I don't know why I care, but I care so much.
Which
I
book
want
she's
to.
read?
I want to know what her summer reading list is.
Let's see.
I desperately want to know.
This is her Valentine's.
Library ice cream. 10 out of 10. Although maybe don't eat ice cream in the library. Stay inside in the summer. Read inside the library underground. Knick Knack knows what a struggle it is to get me out of my library.
So yeah, those are the Murasaki Shikibus right now.
Fucking 10 out of 10. No, this is great. She's one of my favorites. This might be one of my favorite female servants to date. Like when put all together. Like definitely beats out like Penthesilea and like.
I mean,
Attila.
Penthesilea is one of your. Those two are like
It's
some of your
true.
least
It's
favorite
true.
ones.
This
Pick
is-
some higher competition here.
This is up there with like Himiko and Anastasia, who I really, really liked both of them, you remember. Like I loved Himiko and Anastasia. This is up there with Himiko and
There's a lot of
Anastasia.
attention to detail here. The artwork is very stylized, which works in Murasaki's case.
Yeah, I was gonna say specifically in stage 3, it's almost as if there's not a whole lot of detail in like the folds and stuff. It's like very like flat with just shading. which is fine, but it looks very much like a computer program's drawn it. I don't mind, but it does, yeah. Like, the edges are very jagged in a way that isn't, like, normal to the way that fabric flows. But I don't really care because I think it still looks great. This is what I wanted from Woo! I mean, I did not get anything like this with Woo, but I would have liked this with Woo.
Yeah, you got the brief, low detail manga panel version of Adult Woo.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that would be all. I'd give you guys another hint as to what's next, but it should be freaking obvious.
If you don't get this, something's gone wrong.
The artist who did the next one also did a rather controversial Fire Emblem design recently.
I don't get that.
Yeah, no way you would ever get that, but everyone who's seen that trailer will know.
Anyways, for everyone who's participating in NaNoWriMo, good luck.
Go get yourself
And,
a Pepsi.
You know, good luck to all writers out there. Like, persevere. Don't do what I did. Don't give up. Then again, don't write shitty fanfiction like I did. Like, comment, subscribe.